But I have proof from 10 to 14-year-old children who gave us the evidence in England, Scotland, and Wales that the jabs were consistently toxic to children. So let's take a look at those proofs. If I could have what is the first slide in my series, thank you. And there we have the title of the study. It occurred between September of 2021 and March, April of 2022. So it was stretched over about a year and a bit. And the keywords there is double-blind. It was a double-blind, random-controlled study. The kind of study where the parent doesn't know what the child is getting, the child doesn't know what the child is getting, the injectors don't know what the patient's getting, and even the reviewers of the data don't really know. Everything's double-blinded, very legit, as the studiers of what would happen to children over 6 months of getting first double, then eventually triple vaxxed. In the entire year, they had a retrospective, double-blind study. How much illness was happening to a certain group versus how much illness was happening to the second group. But it was truly double-blinded. There was no chance of cheating, and we have the numbers. If we could move now to the second slide. The results of it, once the envelope was opened, and I'm sure the ONS thought they'd have a nice 10% benefit for getting the jabs. But they had to open the envelope, they had to see what it said, and they saw what was to be found in February of 2022. And in February through May of 2022, there was some initial information that showed there was a 52 times likelihood of passing away, more so if you were vaxxed. That was the information in February of 22. But by the time they reviewed another 3 or 4 months worth and gave the final answer, was actually 8,200% more likely to die in the 6 months following a COVID-19 triple vaccination than children who did not get the vaccine at all. Those were the two groups to be studied, and the results came out for those two groups. And the most central important number for you to have in your head right now is that you are 82 times more likely to die in the 6 months following triple vaccine if you were a child than if you didn't get that. I'm sure it would have been all over the news if that was the number in reverse. And if you know what I'm saying. If it was in reverse, it would have been spoken of. But it wasn't spoken of by the government, although it was reported on.
Dr. Shoemaker, let me just stop there, because I think you're making a fantastic point. So if a double-blind clinical study run by the UK government came out and showed that unvaccinated children were 82 times, like just shy of 82,000% more likely to die in 6 months post-vaccine, that would be front page news, it would be on billboards, it would be on the radio. Now I imagine it was the same thing happened.
Yeah, it was 8,200% to be precise. 8,200% equals the equivalence of 82-fold. Either way, it's a huge difference between the two, and the difference, if you wanted to live longer, was to be unvaccinated. We're together on that, Sean, for sure. Did you want me to continue?
Oh, yeah, please.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to the next slide that follows what we just saw. Thank you. So this chart, I'll turn a little bit so that you can look at the chart, and I can too. The 82-fold refers to the furthest one to the right. If you take the number 6.1, which is the rate of dying as an unvaccinated person, and you multiply 6.1 by 82, you get the number 500 or very close to.